Once upon a time, our lovely princesses traveled to a strange plane by mistake, where they met a mysterious candy maker and went through several adventures and joined them. What Alice in Wonderland was able to make a few appearances just to help them along the way. Finally, after facing down a giant purple worm and rescuing Toulouse and his little sister Marie from a purple worm and a flock of harpies, the boat, the chocolate boat that had been sailing on a Kool-Aid river, reappeared. You found that there was a trap door in the deck of that ship. You opened that trap door and went through and found yourselves walking right into an oddly familiar place. It looked like a place that you had visited in that previous plane. However, instead of everything giant, where you faced a terrifying witch who had stolen the golden goose, everything was normal-sized. And turning around, you see an almost exact replica of that witch you faced. But this woman has a very different expression in her eyes, a little scattered. And she's, a medium-sized, human-sized person. And so you all, I do believe, are still standing in the wise woman's hut, where you finally were able to unlock the door. And as you are standing with each other, and Alice has found a glowing portrait to take her back to the godmother's castle, you hear the door open behind you again, and 3 familiar faces walk in. Wendy and Tink, the godmother had reached out to you some weeks ago, letting you know that several of the princesses were on a longer quest, and she thought that they were probably going to end up here. She had a strange feeling that they might need your help around this time.
Well, how can we help you? We're here at your disposal.
Yeah, the fairy godmother said you might need some assistance.
That is very kind. I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, I really appreciate that, but truth be told, none of us know what's going on.
No. Where is the, wise woman at this point? What is she up to?
She's just been standing, staring at you all, going from face to face, and the kids are still sitting behind her, and they're all 3 of them are just...
Oh, the main thing we need to do is deliver children back to their keepers, their parents.
Yeah. The little girl in the blonde pigtails goes, we've already been gone, on an adventure already, and Mom told us that we could only have 1 adventure a week.
Let's take you home.
Okay.
Let's go back.
We know the way. We could just go, I guess.
Okay.
Let's be on our way.
Okay. Do you head back to the craft and the arts and crafts supply store?
We do.
Where the very polished with a short brown or a short blonde, very stylish woman is working in the window humming to herself, and the 2 kids, once they get close, they just run up to the door. They start going, "Mama, Mama, Mama!"
Excuse me, do you happen to be missing 2?
Oh, yes. Was this their weekly adventure?
It's complicated.
Well, I look forward to hearing this story. Did you, I know you came here earlier for paint. Did the paints finish up what you were looking for?
It did.
It did.
Complicated, again, and yes. So, we were supposed to be doing all of this to find this dragon that has the prince.
The queen gave me his journal. I mean, I can't read it. I've been trying to decipher what it says in here, and it's written in some weird kind of language. But if we maybe figure it out, we could at least know what the prince's name is.
That would
along
be
with
a
some
great
other
place
things, because
to
I think
start.
she said it would be really helpful.
Can I see if I can read it at all, like I did with the sketchbook?
Sure.
Okay, so we've seen some weird sketches, which are always a bad sign when children start drawing creepy things in dead languages in their notebooks. And that's most of what we have to go off of. So, Wendy, Tink, this is probably the thing you were sent to help us with.
I'm afraid we haven't seen any dragons, however.
Right. We did see the dragon once. And it said some really shady stuff to the queen.
It did.
Remember it came in and said,
Yep.
"Oh, your husband didn't tell you about me," and we were
right.
like,
We're like, oh,
"Oh,
that's
the
right.
drama."
Dinner and a show.
Not to be crummy, but I'm gonna need a long rest and a lot of snacks before we go dragon hunting because
Yeah.
I am out of spells.
That's fair. I think we could all
second that.
use a nap, and I am also pretty much out of spells. Do you think that we could maybe head back to the castle for a quick snooze before we head back out looking for the dragon? I feel like we're
I
doing
could totally nap.
enough for the queen that maybe
Yeah.
she hook it up.
Back to the wall where that hidden door is placed. After some doing, you're able to kind of get your way in, slide it open, up that long spiraling staircase, up to the prince's tower. And now you're in the castle. You don't see anybody.
Maybe we just crash here for a bit and head back out.
Yeah. I can
Sure.
hand trip us some desserts canonically.
That's right.
Yes.
We do have
Yes.
summon snacks as a cantrip.
Cookies!
Hey.
That was so worth it.
All right, so you make cookies. You have your rest in the castle, awake and refreshed. It is it's probably getting closer to twilight. Would you like to head back to the wise woman's hut?
Did we got our nap in?
You sure did. I'll give you a long rest.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Okay, back to the lady that we were already at that we forgot to ask the thing.
Yeah.
All right, back down through the secret door, back to the witch's hut or the wise woman's hut. Excuse me.
All right.
So the door with that symbol that you'd finished painted on it is still there. It's closed.
I'll knock.
Hello.
Hey.
Just knocks back.
It's us again. Do you remember?
Remember what?
The goose and the lady climbing through the painting in your living room and the painting on the door and the band of princesses tearing through your...
She just opens the door. I have a lot of paintings.
I'm gonna rip open the book and shove it in her face bodily.
The sketchbook?
Yeah.
This isn't yours.
Super no, but I did not steal it.
You have questions?
Oh,
About
yeah,
the book. Lots.
a lot.
What questions?
What is your name?
Remember.
She reminds me of this fish I know.
Yeah.
What's the fish's name?
Tori?
You can call me Dory.
Okay.
Okay, let's take it maybe just like a line by line, and I'm just gonna like point at one like line of weird inscriptions and be like, "What does it say? Quick!"
She looks, and it's an inscription over a sketch, and you can see there is almost like a dragon-like creature, very impressionistic. And she'll point at it and just say, "It's from somewhere else.
Where?
Somewhere else. So angry.
The drawing is angry, or I'm angry?
Angry.
Maybe you're angry.
I may be a little. I'm just trying to get the answers quick. We're moving quickly.
Ooh, I'm gonna message her in her brain, and I'm gonna try to make it sound like it's her own thoughts. And I'm gonna say, hey, we remember how to read. Read it for them.
She takes a second, and her eyes seem to sharpen for a moment, and she looks at the book. She says, "The kingdom has become a shadow of itself." And then her eyes they just kind of,
You say, you need to get it together and tell all these girls everything they want to know.
and those eyes again, they
Threatening.
open, and she suddenly, and she points to a shape. It's like a curved shape. It almost looks as though it's been embossed or it's wrought. It's something, you can't really tell exactly what it is, but there's like a curved shape to it. She just says, "This. Go get this. You can get there from here."
Wendy, you're pretty familiar with hand-drawn maps. Does this look like a map to you?
I can certainly look at it.
Please.
Can I? look at the book as well, ma'am? Dory?
She'll hand it over to you and just, it's not a map. It's a thing. You have to get the thing.
How do we get to the
An
place that
important
has the thing?
You can get there from here.
Can I look at the book that I have in my hand?
Absolutely. You see the sketch of a sword, and the cross hilt, the knuckle guard, looks to be very similar to that shape. When is a house not a house?
When is a house not a house?
Get there from here.
Could you take us to the place we're trying to go through drawing the runes with paint or painting them?
Painting where? I have paintings.
Can I just go around and start poking all the paintings in the canvas to see if any of them
See
are
if it's
like
Mario 64.
With that, you are able to take a look, and you see that it looks as though there is a painting that stands out from the rest of a homely cottage it's surrounded by a beautiful green meadow. Looks very, very comforting, but there's just something extra about it you can't put your finger on. Oh, are you touching the painting?
100%.
Absolutely.
There's a shift in the energy of the room as you feel that familiar surge of wild magic that you've gotten very familiar with our friend Elsa, and once again, you hear a clatter as she has turned into a potted plant. And Dory, as you have now christened her, comes up and says, "Oh yes, this is the last thing you'll need." And she'll take a silver bottle out of her pocket and she's thirsty. Pours it into the roots of the plant, then holds it out. You should go.
Okay.
So we should go.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah.
you have to get it. You need to get it. And she points back to the drawing. You should take this too.
We should.
Okay.
Go into what's happening while they're touching it? Are they feeling like it? They
You're
can go through?
starting to feel it go. You get yourself kind of sucked through the canvas. It's not solid. You're starting to feel it start to move through.
All
I'm
right.
just going to walk through.
I'll fly right in.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll let everybody kind of like funnel in and like keep an eye on the wise woman and go in last.
As you step through the portrait, the house before you is set in that very lovely green meadow. The door is slightly open. You don't see or hear anyone nearby. So
I'm not quiet.
Jasmine, sneaking your way in, you step into a room, you see 3 chairs before you, cozily arranged in front of a fireplace. There's a scorch mark next to them where a 4th one maybe looks like it used to be. It looks like there's something written on the chairs. It looks like it's in that same script that was in the prince's sketchbook and in that journal that you've been trying to understand. Cindy, you start to take a walk around the house and you find yourself immediately at that door again, that front door.
All right, let's go.
Sure, I'll take your word on it. So do you guys see these chairs? One of them has like the runes on it, like maybe the ones in the book, in the sketchbook.
Punzi, you're holding Elsa, right?
Uh-huh.
You notice that Elsa has started to grow some berries. Silver berry hanging off of one of her stems.
Guys, this is new.
I dare you to eat one.
Don't eat Elsa!
You took her health potion. Why not take her little silver
Sure,
berry guy?
totally.
Like hold it up for her.
I'm just gonna eat one.
Cindy,
I'm gonna.
you feel a warmth just in the center of you. And looking at those chairs again, you can read them. The signs on them. It says gold, silver, and then, so the first one says gold, second one says silver, the third one says gold and silver. And then there you again see that 4th scorch mark. So you open, are you opening the journal or are you opening the sketchbook?
I'm opening the, yeah, whatever someone handed me.
Yeah, I think you have
That
the
was the shape.
sketchbook.
You have
The sketchbook.
You find a chunk of text in this one as well. I have been reading Father's accounts, and I seem to have caught his affliction. I too am losing time. This strange code he used seems almost as familiar to me now as common. Best to keep to it, the less Mother knows, the better. I found the hiding place for the sword, and now it is up to me to protect it. The wise woman has found me a place, something innocuous, where no one will look. I can lock it inside. And then there's ink smudged and a piece of the page torn away.
I'm going to tell everyone. I'm going to read that really heartbreaking message out loud, but sassily.
I'm going to sit on the ground in front of her, like crisscross style, just listening.
Story time.
Like story.
Weirdly, though, during this story, Tink gets a draw from the deck.
Tink, you feel a little strange. You look down and suddenly you can't see yourself anymore.
Huh?
You are invisible for the next hour. Casting spells or attacking will not dispel it.
Oh.
Tink?
Well,
Tink?
Has anyone seen Tinkerbell?
hello?
Yeah, part of that.
Go.
Why are you gone?
I don't know.
Oh.
This is concerning.
And Cindy, you're starting to feel the effects of the berry start to fade. There's a little bit more to the entry that you're able to catch, and it says, "Something has happened. I've lost time again. I hid the silver key to the main house amongst others in the most subtle place I could think of, with the codes marking the hiding place. But somehow the markings got switched. I sat down in the silver chair, searching the cushions for it, but it wasn't there among the rest. Then I sat down in the copper chair to search, and it burst into flames. Something doesn't want this key to be found, and I don't dare try another chair. One seems to be the limit. If the key is destroyed, the sword is lost. What is happening to me?" And then the effects of the berry fade, and it all looks like gibberish again. And on the chairs, you saw it said gold, silver, and gold and silver.
I would like to check and see if maybe the chairs have been moved. Does it look like underneath they've been scuffed and moved on the floor?
It doesn't look like they've been moved. Looking at them, they, it looks as though the little labels that looked like they were like pinned on to the chairs, it looks like those maybe were swapped around.
Well, we know the one marked silver is not the right one. So we can rule that one out. It's between these two. Correct? He did say that he sat down in the silver chair.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Right?
I hid the silver key to the main house in the most subtle place I could think of. Then when he sat down in the silver chair, searching the cushions for it, it wasn't there among the rest.
So it was previously in the silver chair, which is what he thought to be the most subtle place in the building, and then it wasn't there anymore.
Ooh, I was gonna say, can I like investigate the labels to see if I see anything that like scratch marks that are like on the chair that might line up with the label that it used to be on?
Okay.
Total?
So you're pressing it, and you hear, as you're kind of like taking a closer look, you put a little bit of weight maybe on the chair, you hear like a clink of metal, as though hidden in the cushions are several metallic things.
Well, there's definitely keys in the cushions.
It seems as though hidden in the cushions are piles of keys. The silver key was supposed to be in the silver chair. Keep in mind also, because I once again don't want to trap you, the copper chair was reduced to a scorch mark.
Yeah. Like it is.
So the keys that were also in that chair
Mm-hmm.
are not there.
I'm wondering, DM, I have this thing
Uh-huh.
called the right tool for the job.
You do? Read that out to me again.
With Tinker's tools in hand, you magically create one set of non-magical artisan's tools, which are the right tools for the job. Would I be able to deduct what type of tools would be handy in this situation?
Okay, so you look at the chairs and you know that they're mislabeled. You know that the silver chair was supposed to have the silver key. But so the one labeled silver chair is not the silver chair.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking for the silver chair. So, you could create a magical item that looks for silver things.
Like a little beep 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 beep.
If you're looking
A
for
metallic
things that make-
compass.
something that makes silver, or something that looks for things that are made of silver, you absolutely could do.
All right. So, since we don't seem to have a time limit, give me an hour, and I can figure out something to, find silver.
Okay. Seems fine. We'll all keep ourselves busy for an hour.
Is she still just an invisible voice right now?
She absolutely is.
I'm gonna sit down on the floor, and we can all create snacks now, right? That's the thing we can all do.
You gonna have a picnic on a tea party on the floor of this?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's a good snack time.
All right, it takes you an hour. What does this item look like?
It is a little compass. I liked that idea. The little compass, so it just points at silver things.
So it spins, 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 and then to the chair labeled gold and silver.
Okay. Gold and silver chair. Do we sit in it? Do we dig in it?
I believe we sit in it, right? That's what he said he did?
Yeah.
Who's sitting down?
I'm gonna
Jasmine.
do it.
Jasmine's
All right, so
doing
sit down. You sit down and you start searching in the cushions for a key.
Yeah, I'm just digging in, seeing loose change, silver keys, French fries, you name it.
Crinkle, 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 clank, 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 and you pull out a silver key.
Hey.
Oh, it worked!
And as you pull it out, a door appears in one of the walls. Do you guys want to go through the door?
Kid on
Yeah.
Christmas morning. Yes.
it. Certainly.
So you open the door, and you find yourself in a homely kitchen with 3 bowls of differing sizes on the table, and there's a large pot of porridge simmering on the stove.
Ugh.
There's remnants of smashed pottery on the table and another familiar carved design. And Potted Plant Elsa has grown another silver berry.
I do it. I take it.
Yeah, see?
All right.
Oh, it's fun.
I want to read. I want to read the symbols.
So there's a it looks like it's it just says open, and in like a circular spot on the table. The symbol on the table says open. There are 3 bowls of differing sizes and smashed pottery. You feel as though that warmth is continuing. Would you like to do anything else?
I relay the information to everybody else. But before it wears off, I want to open the journal, the sketchbook, and see if I can read anything in there.
You open to a page and you absolutely can. I somehow found myself in the kitchen. The key still nowhere to be found. The door to the garden is sealed, but the 4-cup vessel is smashed beyond recognition. The sealing rune was designed for that vessel specifically, but the 3-cup and the 5-cup vessels remain. Perhaps something can be done. At least the garden is protected by the wise woman. Whatever affliction burdening me can have no effect on that. And then it's just gibberish again.
2 words, but the singing kind of makes it hard to understand the puzzle.
I somehow found myself in the kitchen. The key still nowhere to be found. The door to the garden is still sealed, but the 4-cup vessel is smashed beyond recognition.
Okay, I think I know this one. We want to fill the 4-cup.
The 4-cup
No,
is
We don't have
We
the
want to
broken.
put 4 cups into the 5-cup vessel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the 4th one is smashed, right?
Okay, so I'm gonna just sit tight and explain this. I'm not gonna start doing it. Okay, so we need to fill the 5, and then use the 3-cup to take out exactly 3 cup, which leaves us with 2 in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we need
Do that
to-
twice.
Yeah, basically set the 2 aside,
Mhm.
and then so we can combine the 2 and a new 5, and then subtract the 3, and then we'll have 4.
Yes.
Very smart, but where are we going to put that 2 that we need to set aside?
Is there any other bowl or anything in the kitchen?
A lid, perhaps?
nothing.
You
have a
have
frying
a frying pan!
Oh, you do have a frying pan!
We'll put it in the frying pan.
Okay,
Let's do it.
fill up the 5 exact correctly, then take the 3 and subtract it, put the 2 that's left over in the frying pan, and then we have to add the 5 and the 2, and then subtract 3 from the frying pan, and then pour the remainder back into the thing.
Scooping porridge out of the pot with the bowls, you're able to, after some maneuvering, pouring back and forth between the bowls and the frying pan. So
Yes,
you
in the
set the 5 one, and it seems to be just right. And you hear like a release almost as it sinks into the table, and another door appears.
Let's go.
Yes.
Opens onto a garden.
Hey.
Small garden with flower beds, vegetable beds, even a section planted with berries. As you move into the garden, there's a rustling. As the flower beds, the vegetables, the berry bushes begin to rise, coalescing into humanoid shapes. There are 3, one festooned with flowers, delicate blossoms and hardy stems, one with squash vines, tangled and wiry, the third wreathed in brambles and tiny silver berries.
Right?
You're big and scary, Leia. Maybe you should eat one.
It seems to be living.
Yeah, Miss,
don't think
I
it's-
have so many hit points. I think you should go teach that silver berry bush.
I'm gonna go smack the silver bush with my sword. That's what I'm
Okay.
gonna do. I'm gonna go hit it with my lightsaber.
So that happens. Do you do anything else? Do you say anything to it? You just...
I'm just slicing it with my lightsaber, and if some
Okay.
berries fall, I will try and catch them.
So the no berries fall, but it's gonna just kind of silently just and reach over to attack you, and the other 2 move to the rest of the group. Everybody roll initiative. The one in front of Leia is gonna get just a reaction attack. So that's
Giveth and can
so that's
taketh
6.
away.
So that's 6 slashing to you, Leia. And 18 psychic.
I'd like to use shield. Okay, great. That makes my AC 26.
All right. Then it doesn't hit you. So, Cindy, you get to go first. What would you like to do? You've got 2 of these leafy plant creatures approaching you.
First, I'm gonna go invisible so I don't die. And then I'm going to make Leia's bun fall out into a pigtail, because now we're all gonna die.
What is with y'all today?
I take down Inspiring Leader. Good luck.
You can take it down?
Yes, I can. I giveth and I taketh away.
So you turn invisible and do that, and do you want to move or anything?
Suggest
Yeah,
you
I'd
do.
love to move into a position of flanking, either to the right or to the left, if that's even possible. I don't know.
Absolutely. Jasmine, what would you like to do?
Can I use my insightful fighting to make an insight check on this berry bush?
I failed. So you can use sneak attack.
Yes!
I rolled a 3.
14.
All right. So you got there's the vegetable one is attacking the one that's made of squash blossoms is attacking you, and I think Punzi, and then Wendy and Tink, the one closer to you, is the one that's made of flowers. Punzi, you said you got 16?
Yeah.
Initiative. It is your turn.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hit him. Just gonna hit him.
Roll to hit, please.
15?
15 doesn't hit. I do believe you have a reroll though, if you'd like one.
Gonna use it. 17. No?
That doesn't hit either.
Cool, I'm gonna use my bonus action to try and hit him again anyway.
Go for it.
Get one in.
You're attacking
8 points
the
of-
8 point.
The
You're
squash
attacking the
blossom.
one. Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
One. Because that's the one right in front of me, right?
It is.
Sweet, sweet. So 8 points.
Perfect. Okay, so it's now their turn. So the flower one goes over to you, Wendy, and misses. The squash blossom goes to you, Punzi, and that's a 21 to hit.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That is 6 points of slashing damage and 18 points of psychic damage.
Woo.
Now it's your turn, Leia. Oh, you lucky paladin.
Excellent. How's this thing looking? It's fine, right? Like, it's doing well.
It's doing totally fine. You have
Okay,
it.
excellent. So as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Branding Smite to add
Okay.
an additional 2d6s to these attack rolls, which I will be
Sure.
using Divine Smite on. That's going to be 49 points of damage.
Okay. It starts to, like, the leaves around it and the thorns start to, like, crisp up and get, like, those, like, that, like, those lingering, like, smoldering sparks on the tips of those blackened thorns. and it looks at you with just this like eyeless, featureless face and just seems to like focus in on you. Wendy, what would you like to do?
I would like to cast Guiding Bolt, the one in my face.
Absolutely.
That's going to be 12 points of damage. And as a bonus action, I'd like to cast my Spiritual Weapon, so I get to hit it again.
Do the thing.
That's another 10 points of damage, and also, whoever hits this next, which, Tink, I hope it's you, you get advantage because of my Guiding Bolt.
It is your turn next, Tink. What would you like to do?
I'd like to fly back a little bit and try to shoot it with my acid arrow.
Go for it.
10 points of acid damage. And then at the end of its next turn, it needs to take 2d4 acid damage.
Excellent. That brings us back up to Cindy. What would you like to do, Invisible Cindy?
Would you say that I could cast a 30-foot long and 5-foot wide roaring flame without hitting my friends, or nah?
If
Okay.
you wanted to put it on the far side of like the other side of the one that Leia is dealing with, you could definitely do that.
So I then am going to cast Agnazar's Hideous Scorcher, pardon me, not Hideous Laughter. 28 points of damage.
Okay. So you cast that fire, suddenly the fire just whooshes up and starts to catch this thorny creature again after the branding smite that Leia hit it with very badly. Those smoldering thorns catch even further and start to burn down to ash. And the silver berries start to melt and pool down, forming just like a streaming set of silver just down the form of this creature. And as it starts to fall, you hear a clink of a metal object. The other two creatures fall back into their garden beds.
I cast Zone of Truth on Cindy. You thought maybe while you were invisible it would be a good time to tug on my pigtails like we're children?
100%.
You thought maybe while I'm out here fighting the monster, you thought now would be the time?
Well, you're so beefy.
First of all, weird. Second of all, no, not the time while I am trying to protect us.
I protected you, and now there's a key.
I'm gonna go get the key. I'm gonna go pick up the key while they're arguing.
So you head over to the remnants of this creature looking for that metal piece, and you see the glint of something silver. You pick it up. It's not a key.
Oh.
With the hilt.
It's a familiar curved shape, but it looks a little off. Looks like maybe it's only half of it.
Ugh.
Turning it over,
Also-
you see that it is hollow.
Oh.
Something shoved inside.
So can I try and get it out?
Sure. It's a seed.
Is there like a patch of dirt where I can plant this bad boy?
Yeah, you're sitting in the garden.
Sweet. I'm gonna sit down and just.
You feel the ground start to rumble underneath you. You tumble back, you just lose your footing a little bit, and as you fall back to the ground, you see green shoots just twining together, tangling together to form a very, very large green beanstalk stretching up and up
Hold it.
and up and up.
Time to climb?
Does it look like we can climb this? Like, does that seem feasible?
It absolutely does.
What are the chances we're going to encounter a giant?
Okay, I'm gonna start climbing.
Going to follow them.
And with that, we will end tonight's session.
Climbing up a beanstalk. My goodness,
Climbing
everybody.
up
What could go wrong?